We have showers in some of our drought zones. Hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you for joining us. We're tracking a few showers over the next several days, which will bring a little bit of relief, but for the most part, it's just going to be a few spits, a few drizzle patches, and nothing to really accumulate, certainly nothing to reverse the drought that we've got around the country. However, we do have a change in our weather pattern, and it's enough to get, well, optimistic. So let's take a look and see what is happening at the moment. We've got a new low forming up in the tropics. In fact, there are two storms up there which are being monitored right now, or two depressions which are being monitored. Both could turn into storms. This one's dropping quite quickly southwards, and by Wednesday will already be down closer to New Zealand. It won't be hitting us. And then behind it, there is actually another developing low up here, and that one could become a cyclone. So we've got a couple of interests up in the tropics, but like I say, not hitting New Zealand. So let's take a look at the forecast. And I said to you before, there's a bit of a change in the weather pattern. Well, this is it. These lows appearing down in the New Zealand area. Now, while this one is missing us, and the cyclone the other day, Uisi missed the North Island, the remnants and the humidity are the reason why we are seeing some downpours bubbling up on Wednesday through the North Island, through central dry areas. Now, most of that will be in the mountains, the hills, the national parks, but some will drift into some of those very dry farms. And then we've got this other low which has formed in the remnants after Uisi and the leftovers, and also another system further out towards Aussie, all helping to produce another low. So you just have to go back a month or so ago, it was solid high pressure. Now we're seeing Australia getting rain bands, and we're seeing low, high, low, high. And that mixture is what helps to break droughts. So hopefully as we head into March, we'll get one of these lows crossing us. If not, the dry stays, but the fact that we're now getting them forming either side of us is a change, and it's a positive one if you do need rain. So like I say, a few downpours bubbling up, a couple in the South Island as well on Wednesday, and the similar story really on Thursday further out to the east, although fairly dry in many places. Now you can see that low moving in. We've got the other one out to the east. We're stuck in the middle with high pressure covering us for Thursday, and as we get to Friday, in comes that front. Now there'll be a little bit windy. That'll push temperatures up around Canterbury and Waited Upper. There'll be some rain on the west coast, a couple of heavy falls in there. Mostly dry on Friday around the North Island, but late patchy showers will come in around Taranaki. On Saturday, look at this. We've actually got a rain band moving into the North Island, but I have to say, don't get very excited. High pressure is right there. High pressure links up and goes around like that. So this is running into high pressure, which means this is probably about as dramatic as it will look on Saturday at lunchtime as it comes in with a few showers or patchy sort of light rain. Now the reason why we're sort of downplaying it, by the way, before I show you why we're downplaying it, just quickly, the South Island's got a burst of rain and also a colder southerly that comes through on Saturday, resetting temperatures for you. But back to the north, the reason why we're not too excited about that to be much of a drought impactor is because when we go to Sunday, that is it. It's already moving away, high pressure's rolling in. So you might get 5 millimeters, some of you might get 15, some of you might get none. So this is not exactly a big drought breaker, but it is certainly going to be welcomed by many growers, many gardeners, getting that rain band coming through. But of course, high pressure comes in after it on Sunday. Now, the last thing I want to share with you is, as we talked about these lows forming, and by the way, there's the next lot of tropical activity to our northeast around this Sunday. But behind all of this high, coming through once we get to about March, there could be a Tasman Sea rainmaker coming in more towards northern areas. It is definitely not locked in, but just saying we are seeing a break in these highs. The highs are becoming more like islands, sort of on their own, and then you've got a low sort of on either side of it. That's different to where we were in January and the start of February, which was just a solid line of high pressure. So we've got a break in it, and that's a good sign, but I can't answer the question as to when it will pour with rain at your house. That's why we've set up ruralweather.co.nz. That should answer some of your questions at least. It's got more weather data on it than any other website on earth for New Zealand. That's all from me. We'll see you again tomorrow with the latest.